But we were in New Orleans one time. We dropped off the crew, and I was with a guy named Marlo from Detroit. And so Marlo and I parked the car, or the van, and we walked towards Bourbon Street to meet the brothers. And as we're walking, I see in the French Quarter this, witchcraft place. I mean, just big time witchcraft place. So I told Marlo, we got to do something. And the door was locked. I tried to open it and say something. It was locked, but I did notice that the mail slot was open. Hey, that's good enough. So I just bent down, opened the mailbox, and started to preach in there of what God thinks of this building. And I can hear somebody coming down the steps, and I still kept going and kept going and kept going. And all of a sudden, the door opens up, and then I stood up to confront who this was, and this is like some 99-year-old woman. I mean, she probably stood like 4 foot. But she had so many wrinkles on her face, I'm sure if you put her on an ironing board and pressed her, she'd stand 5 feet tall. And she looked at us like, what are you doing? She had a whip in her hand.
Whip story.
And she got that whip and she smacked. Marlo went like this, man, almost took off his finger. Let me tell you, when Jesus went into the temple and used that whip, it is a snap, a large sound. Then at that point, I saw what happened to Marlo. I'm backing up. And she took a snap at me, and it hit close to my ear. I mean, loud. And she didn't hesitate. And Marlo and I actually took off running. I don't think I ran that fast since I played football. And Marlo's a big guy, too. I mean, she chased us away. This 99-year-old woman chased 2 big burly guys away.
Tell me it isn't so.
So, as we're running, I'm telling Marlo, tomorrow when we go back, she's going to be in trouble. And Marlo's like, tomorrow? So we dropped the guys off the next day, and we went to like a Home Depot, and I got a big sheet of cardboard that we made a sign with. And I noticed that the door on the outside was the old-fashioned door that it had like a swivel, and you can put a lock in it. And it was on the outside. So I thought, great, we're going to lock this woman in. She ain't going to be able to get out. And so I told Marlo, we painted the sign, everything looked good. I said, look, I'm going to go ahead and lock the witch. I'm going to open the slot and continue my message. Make sure when you tape the sign, it's a message for her. And that's exactly what happened. We went back. I locked the door because it had that swivel on the outside. And she came running down the steps. And she can't open the door. It's locked. So I had still the mail slot open, and I'm still preaching. About 6 months later, we come back in New Orleans, and I'm looking for this place. And it's now like a clothing store. And I remember walking in, wasn't this like a witchcraft place? She says, yeah, the lady died. Wow. She died probably about maybe a couple of months after we did what we did. So, when you obey God, it may seem really crazy. But, we went through all this. Isaiah was preaching naked. We have some guys who did some odd things, eat dung. We have no idea what it is we're doing. Just obey what God says. That's the concept, people. We are peculiar people anyway. But anyway, that story is amazing. God was trying to get this woman's attention. And I don't think anybody ever went to her and, knocked on the door or told her anything. And of course, New Orleans is filled with witchcraft anyway. And so we probably interrupted her, doing some weird potion stuff, because she came down them steps pretty fast. And then when she couldn't open the door, she's just blithering mad. But It's not over all the time, guys. You have no idea why God does things to us.
Come on.
Even obedience when we go out. In Hollywood, we had preached at all these Hollywood production shows and events. And it was in Beverly Hills about maybe 5 years ago. One limo pulled over and was talking to one of the brothers. And so I kind of walked over to see what was going on. When somebody's in a conversation, I don't need to get involved. I'm trusting God's working on this guy. Who was the guy that just recently died with all the porno stuff with kids and women?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Epstein. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I look inside, and it's him. At the time, I have no idea who he was. Time I don't know. But he was sitting in the backseat of the limo with some little Oriental kid. And his whole reason for rolling down the window and talking was the woman caught in adultery. He said, did Jesus forgive her? Did Jesus forgive her? Did your Jesus forgive her? And the brother was saying, yeah, but he repented. He didn't just under the blood go do it again. And then about, I guess 6 months later, then we saw his face, and I'm thinking, wow, this was the guy. This was the guy. So when we're out there, guys, you're just obeying God. You have no idea the impact we're going to be making. Okay? Something might happen. It looks like two guys screaming at each other. You can make an impact on that guy or those standing around.